Okay. If you are together, can you thumbs up? Can I see? Can we all hear me? Can we all hear me? Okay. All right. So the network is a connection of two or more nodes, such as computers, that enable internal file, underline the word internal data or files or resources. So the internal refers to the relative data you have on your system or within the geopolitical zone where you are located. So that does not have to do with the internet. Are we together? So that particular one is called what? Network. But you accessing a global resources like such as what you are accessing today. So the internet, the network is a connection of two or more nodes such as computer. Okay. Hi, can you hear me? Okay. All right. Let's move to the next slide. Okay. So I believe we now understand what internet means and what network equally means. Okay. So having gotten that, let's proceed. Understanding the terms networking and network. Understanding the terms networking and network. Networking is the act of connecting two or more nodes together for the purpose of resources, files, and data sharing over the network. So it's the art when you hear the word networking. So networking is the art of connecting two or more nodes. And those nodes, I think I've told you that we have computer to be that, could be PC, could be your laptop, it could be your phone, any system device that you can, interconnect together. So that is what we refer to as what? The node. So is the art of connecting two or more nodes together. Okay. So network, as I've earlier defined, this is an already set up connection between two or more nodes. As earlier said, of course, there are three constituents of network. There are three constituents of network. I believe you are following me. If you are there, please can you thumbs up? Okay. All right. So understanding the term, like I said, so I believe now, if before now you don't understand what networking and network are, I believe now you understand. So without further, let's get started from there now that that has been made clear to us. So networking has three parts. For you to share data from one source to the other, there must be a connection between those entities. those nodes, two or more nodes. So there must be a connection between. For you and I to communicate, I must use a language that you understand. If I'm speaking the language that you don't understand, the message that I'm trying to pass, you may not actually get it. Okay? So for you to get what I'm sending to you, the meaning, to interpret that in your own mother's tongue, it means we have to agree on a particular protocol. That protocol set of instruction, if you want to communicate me, use English language. So when I use English language, automatically you understand that, then you break it down in your own mind into your own mother's language. Okay, so there must be a protocol to be observed for nodes to communicate on the internet or on the network. So for we have a sender, we have the medium, and we have the receiver. So the sender could also mean the server, while the receiver we have that times to be what? A client. A client is an individual sending request. Then the server send back what response to you. So in that regard, the sender could serve as what? As server, and the receiver as client. Now, the in between them, there is something called medium. That medium has two types. It has two types. So we have the physical medium and the wireless medium. That physical medium, you can say wired medium. And the one you cannot see the trace of connection, you can call it what? Wireless medium. E.g., like most of us now, we are using router, or most of us we are using what? Let's say hotspot. We hotspot our system to join the section today. That connection, you will see that there is no wire between your laptop and the router you are using to access the internet. So however, there is what? Connection between them that enables your system to access the resources on YouTube now. Okay, so that connection is what we refer to as wireless, not physical. You can't say it. But to as many who are using Ethernet connection, are we together? Okay, are we together? All right. If you are together, can you thumbs up? Can I see your thumbs up? Can you give me hi? Okay, in the chat, can you say hi? Can you say hi to me if you are hearing me clearly? Okay, all right. Now, from that place, I'm explaining the medium because we are going into the network so that we all understand the architecture of network. Okay, and also it will enable us to know and to also apply this in our day-to-day activities. Okay, um, going forward, we are explaining the network, the medium, and the receiver. So let's look at the sender and the receiver, which are the what? The computer devices. Okay, two or more devices such as computer. These computer can serve as servers or as clients, or it can equally act as both. Okay, e.g., let me give you another instance now. Like we have the host of today's section. So after my home presentation now, she can equally present slide from her whole hand, or present something for us from our own hands. So in that regard, my own system will now serve as the receiver again. I too am receiving information from her. Okay, why now I'm serving as what? As the server disseminating information. Okay, so that is how it goes. Now medium, there are two types or kind of medium, wired or wireless medium, which I've said earlier on. So let's look at that. So this is the packet tracer from Cisco packet tracer. So we're going to be looking at that after now. So this is the connection. If you look at the connection between the router, can you see my can you see the slide? Okay. If you look at the pointer, we are pointing to the router. So we have the router here, the home router, and here we have the personal PC, that's a PC, and here we have a laptop. So now connecting, so actually this is the logical connection, okay? Even if you don't have the physical devices that you want to implement, okay, you can use your router help you do that. And of course this can be implemented if it works fine logically. You can use that to implement your physical network. Okay, now if you look at this, we have the PC, we have the laptop, and we have the router. Now from the PC we have a medium, wired medium, very thick line, black. Okay, so this symbolizes that the connection between this PC to this modem is what is wired medium, which can be seen. Okay, why, if you look at the laptop here, we have what? A dash, a black tiny lines symbolizing wireless connection. Is showing the signal, okay, that was enabled through WAMP, WAP, okay. So it just shows us that there is a connection between the router and the laptop. Okay. Okay, let's proceed from that. All right. How am I communicating? Am I communicating? Am I communicating? Okay. I believe I'm communicating. And of course, if you cannot hear me clearly, please uh, let me know. Okay, all right, okay, good. Okay, now I told us earlier that the purpose of networking node or networking computer is to share resources. And for them to share resources, there must be establishment of what? Communication between two computers. You cannot just put computers and you wire both them together and expect them to communicate when there is no when either of the computer has yet to what uh, um, fulfill the protocol or follow the rules. So there won't be communication. There must be a rule that must be followed for the sharing of data and what accessing of resources to take place. So before then, communication between computers, communication between these devices on the same network, on the same, underline the word same network. So meaning that if there must be a communication between devices or computers or any system device you are using to connect with the internet or within your home, your home, there must be what? Establishment of communication between them. They must follow the rule that can enable them talk to each other, share data. Okay, now so communication between these devices at the same network happens once it follows a set of rules, and this set of rules is called protocol. I know most of us we've been hearing the word protocol. I stand on the existing protocol and on and on. So protocol in networking or network protocol, it simply means a set of rules or a set of um, regulations that must be followed for communication to take place between the system that are what in the same network. So if these rules are obeyed, there must be what communication, and the substance of this communication is called data packet. Okay, now having established the communication between devices, so what we expect is to share resources, and that resources, that data, that file, the voice you hear is referred to as data packet. Data packet. I know you've heard about that term before. They call it data packet. Why do we call it data packet? Why do we call it data packet? Okay. Why do we call it data packet? Why do we call it data packet? Okay. They call it data packet because of the other components that come alongside, that follows the data that you are sharing from the server to the receiver. As you can see from the screen, you will notice that we say data packet is a basic unit of information that travels from one device to another on the same network. That is very, very essential. Remember, on the same network. On the same network. This data packet has three parts, as shown below. Like I told you, why we call it data packet, because you have the word data and packet. Okay, so it has the header, the body section, and the footer section. Okay, it has the header, the body, and the footer section. Don't forget, we in networking we have node and the wire or medium. Medium could be wire or wireless. Okay, so what we pass from the one node to the other is what we refer to as data packet. Okay, that passes through the medium. It passes through either wired cable, or it passes through the what the signal, signal. Okay, good. So the head, what does the head encompasses or comprise of? In the head, we have the IP addresses of the sender and the receiver. Are we together? So you are sending, like, okay, if you want to send a letter to somebody now, you are writing letter to, maybe official letter to somebody who is not physically present where you are, or probably very far from. Okay, okay, I believe you can hear me, right? Okay, good. Are we together? All right, good. Okay, okay. Are we together? Are we together? Okay, good. Okay, good. Good. So in the head section, it has the address. Now, I was using an illustration that you are writing letter to your friend, to your family member, or your friend, okay, who is not physically present, or you are writing probably application letter to an organization. So if you want to send a letter to a particular organization you have in your mind, you need to know the address of that organization. If you're using what's it called, post office, means of passing the information, you have to address the letter envelope. You file the envelope in the letter inside the envelope, then you write the address of the company you are addressing the letter to. So having done that, you have your own address also written on it, which is what sender address and the recipient address. So the same thing applicable to the data packet. When the sender on the same network is sending, he or she is sending data from his or her system, or you're trying to access that on the processing system, there must be what? An address. And that address is called IP, which means Internet Protocol. Internet Protocol address. Okay. So each system, as we are all connected now, we all have IP addresses. Mine is different from yours, and so on and so forth. So if I want to share a particular information with a particular person on this network now, on this section, and I don't want it to be obvious, to be seen by every other person, so what do? I have to use the address of that person, the address of the person's PC. Then the message or the data goes straight to the person without being known to every other person. Okay, so are we together? I believe you can hear me. If you can hear me, can you thumbs up? Okay, okay. All right, good. Okay, all right. So in the body section, so the body section has the address of the person you are sending to and your own address. You have the MAC address, that's medium access control. We have that. We have protocol number. That protocol number is also known as port number. Port number. Oh, sorry. Are we together now? Okay, good. Now, from that, we have the body. The body is the one that actually carry the content of the message you are transmitting from, from one system to the other. Is the main message, the content of the message, that is the body. So it goes straight to the device, the receiving device. Why the footer? Footer help us to know that the message has finished. Okay, so from the head, so the data packet has three components: the header, the body, and the footer. The header comprises of the ID, the IP address, the MAC address, and the protocol number. While in the middle, we have the body that actually carries the information we are passing, whether encrypted or you leave it plain. So that is the body, that is the real message. While the footer shows us that this is the end of the message. You are going to be seeing that this happen in in a serial form as it enters. So when it read the last bit of the data packet, it signals the receiving device that everything has been sent. Okay, so now note, if you look at that, we have a note here. The movement of the data packet over network can indicate how well the network is performing. So like we know now, sometimes when we are communicating over probably on the Zoom or wherever, you or somebody might be saying something and you are not hearing the person. It's not that the person is not speaking. Probably the person has unmuted the mic and is speaking, but you are not actually hearing what the person is saying. The person is talking, but the movement of the information from that person PC to your own end is very slow. Then we will say what? We have bad network. That is, the information is moving, is traveling, is transmitting slowly. So it's not going the way it ought to. Then we say we have a what? A very bad connection, okay, or network. So this performance can be measured by bandwidth. I know you've heard of the word bandwidth before, but now the meaning of bandwidth means the amount of data a device receives every seconds. I repeat, bandwidth is the amount of the data, that is the data packet a device or receiving device receives every seconds. Okay, so and the bandwidth is calculated. That bandwidth is what? The measurement of what? Of the performance of the network performance. Okay, now the bandwidth is equals to, in calculation, we have it as, you as a network engineer or network administrator or or network security. You need to know all of this because you'll be doing some calculation and all. Okay, so in order to calculate, and you've seen sometimes you see it, you say, what is the rate? Probably you are downloading something on the internet, you will see it counting in megabyte, maybe let's say 200 MB per second and all. That is the bandwidth telling you the strength or the performance of your network. Are we together? So hence the unit is, yes, I use that x as a variable, actually can be substituted for anything. So it could be, let me just change it from there. Let's say we have something like MB per BPS. You've seen something like that before, right? So you see something of this nature. Let me just change that to, so that somebody will not say y2. So the x there is the variable. Okay, so let me just give it a new color. Okay, so just a variable which could mean any value actually. Okay, so that is the bandwidth, and that's the unit. And the speed is, of course, the speed is the rate at which the data packets are received or downloaded, which very very close to the bandwidth. Okay, that's the measurement. Okay, all right. Okay, good. So having seen the data packet that passes through this medium, whether wire, cable, or the signal from one device to the other. So now let's look at the rules for these systems, or the nodes that are on the same network, uh, follow in order to communicate from one point to the other. For me to communicate to you, I'm using the language you understand. If I'm using other language that you don't understand, there won't be any connection between us. There won't be any passage of information between us. So for those systems to receive and send and use resources from one political zone to the other geopolitical zone, there must be rules to follow. So this rule, the set of rules, is called what? Protocol. I've said that earlier on. So however, in order to make it more relative to what we are talking about, which is the network, we call it network protocol, because we have a lot of protocol outside there. We have a rule in grammar. We have rule. You say I stand on existing protocol. Probably you are asked to give a speech. You can use that word protocol. Everybody is using protocol. There are rules, the set rule. So in networking, we call it network protocol, which is a set of rules. Okay, this is a set of rules used to govern the communication among the nodes, such as PC, phones, etc., connected on the same network. Everything, be putting attention to that word, same network. If you are miss those, if we have 5 people, let's say we have 5 people, and out of those 5 people we have 3 people who speak the same language, and we have the 2 other people there that do not understand the language. So when they are communicating and they use the language that they understand, let's say three of them understand, they are using to communicate, you will see other people will just be looking. They will just be looking. Even if the information that they are passing will benefit them, they will just be looking at one another because the rule is not followed. The rule is not followed. Though they are in the same, they are together, but since their own the rule that's supposed to link all of those people together, all the five of them together, is not followed. The rule is that you must understand my language. Now they don't understand, they won't be able to get the information. Same to this place. When the rule, a particular system on the network does not follow the rule, there won't be something called communication, and the data will not be able to pass from one end to the other. So that's the essence. So what does the network protocol do actually? What does it do? It performs three basic functions. One, communication. So communication occur when the procedure, when the protocol or the rule are observed. Then two, for security purpose. For security purpose. For security purpose. And thirdly, for network management. These are very, very essential as an individual, as an expert, as a professional in networking. Okay, as a network engineer, network developer, or network manager rather, network administrator, and cyber security personnel. These are very, very essential. Okay, so an individual who is looking forward to develop his career or career in cyber security, this is very, very essential. This is very, very essential. This is very, very essential. The security aspect of it, that's the network protocol security. Okay, now there are two models in network protocol. There are two models. Actually, I only put one here, but the first one, which is OSI mean Organization Standard for Interchange. Okay, sorry. So the OSI, I didn't put that because that one is used as a theoretical framework. Yeah, that's the theoretical framework, but the practical framework is TCP, that has 4 layers. It has 4 layers. While the OSI is theoretical framework for protocol, which has a network protocol which has 7 layers. You can write it down, and you can ask question after now regarding that, or after if you still have time, you can ask question, or you link with me regarding that. So OSI has 7 layers. You can put that down. That is the theoretical framework for network protocol. But for the practical network protocol, we have TCP. Okay, good. I believe you can hear me. If you can hear me, can you hear me? Or are you following?